The Wolves return to the Allstate Saturday night to take on Houston at 7 o'clock. For tickets, stop by the Allstate Arena ticket office, log on to ChicagoWolves.com or call 1-800-THE-WOLVES. 2-1 in favor of the Wolves through 1 period to play. And prior to tonight's game, Billy sat down with Wolves forward Adam Huxley.
Thank you, Jason. Adam, a very tough weekend here, first of all, and a very important weekend, no doubt about it, here starting in Houston. You do play Houston at home on Saturday, but you have Austin in between, so very difficult weekend. You need the points, no doubt about that. Just talk about the mindset of the team with only 6 games to go.
Well, I definitely think that obviously everyone knows every single point matters. Every game, we take game by game, but I mean, out of 4 or 5 out of 6 might get us in, but you never know, it might be 6 out of 6. True. Everyone else seems to be winning and stuff too, so you just got to do whatever it takes to do it, and everyone's got to be a piece of the puzzle, and that's how a good team's going to get into the playoffs. And you know what, sometimes it's even better being in a situation like this going in. True. Because you get there and you've already been playing playoffs for a month. You look at the Oilers the year, they barely made the playoffs, went all the way to the Cup final, but they had been playing playoffs since the start of March.
Sure. Very true, no doubt about that. Let me ask you, you've been around not long enough now, 15 games played here with the Wolves, some inconsistencies. What do you think this team needs to do to maybe get over the hump and be more consistent and put 2 points up game in and game out?
Well, I think that we've got robbed a few times. True. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
you take like 4 or 5 points that were out of our hands, you put them in there. I mean, we're in a different situation, but you control what you can control, and I think that just consistency is definitely kind of the word you'd use, but I more or less think that we just have to come together as a group every night and be that tenacious club. I don't think there's a club with better offense and skill level than our team has, so we just have to bring that every night and put it together, and you can't have one guy not playing tonight. Everyone has to be going. This is our playoffs right now.
Absolutely. This is a good opportunity for you here with the Chicago Wolves, but this is not your first kick of the can in the American Hockey League. You were with the Oilers. You've been to several camps. Edmonton, you call it somewhat your hometown, and you played in Springfield for 5 games in the American Hockey League a few years ago. Tell us about that.
Well, I obviously am a veteran in the East Coast League, and a lot of guys, they don't know about the league or whatever, but I have a lot of pride in it. There's a lot of good players down there, and that's where I played the majority of my career. Sure. Again, you control what you control. It's not in my hands. I'd rather be in the American League, but that time developed me as a player. But my time in Springfield was actually, my first chance in the American League came in Lowell, but then the next one was with Chicago, and when Anderson and Chevalier and Off and all those guys, they brought me in, and that was my first opportunity. But my first time actually playing some games was in Springfield, and that's Edmonton's decision and whatever like that. But I ended up back in Stockton, and but Springfield was we had not a great team that year, so it was a little bit of a different feeling. Like right now, guys are like, oh, we're not in the playoffs yet. They're worried here. Yeah, you got to go to a team that's already out of playoffs in January and see the feeling. It's a little bit different.
Sure, absolutely. What was it like getting the call from the Wolves in the new year and getting this opportunity now?
Well, I had a feeling it might be coming because I had a strong showing at the start of the year. I was up for, I played 2 games. I was up for 10 or 11. And, I like all the guys. I think the guys all like me. I'm not going to say that they did or didn't, but I think that, it was the right time for me to come, and I could play. There wasn't a lot of guys sitting out and stuff like that, and I think that I came in and just tried to jump into the lineup. Like I said, this is my 7th year pro, so I'm not. It's not like calling up another kid that I'm not going to be all nervous and stuff like that. I know what I'm coming into, and I'm coming more or less. I'm a rookie, but I come in for a little bit of leadership and add a little grit. So.
Absolutely agree with that, Adam. No doubt about that. And as a player, as you are, an agitator, you're a guy that goes out there and gives 100%, and your game is getting better all the way around. But you are that type of guy that doesn't mind dropping the gloves to maybe get something going for your team. Talk about that mindset, because I know many times you'll come to the rink and you'll say to us, well, I think I'm going to fight Kyle Hagel, say, tonight. You kind of know that. So what do you think about maybe during the day to prepare yourself for a game?
Well, if you're a betting man and we're playing each other, chances are you're going to win your money if you, you're not going to get great odds, but you're going to win your money with the Hagel thing. Sure. We've had quite a few fights, but I mean, same time, it kind of gets old a little. Fighting the same guy, you want to fight different guys, but I don't fight for me per se. I used it as a tool my whole career to get forward, you know, so I could work on my game and become a better player. And I think I have. You know, some nights, sometimes the minutes don't really justify the hard work, but you know, I do what I have to do to keep progressing in hockey, and I'm not afraid. You know, so you got to do something that someone else isn't willing to do, and that some people aren't willing to do. But on the same token, I'm going to take it pretty seriously, and I'm going to study the people I'm fighting. I'm going to train to fight in the off season, all that kind of stuff. Because if I'm coming in, I have enough pride. I ain't going to lose. I don't want to lose.
Well, let's talk about that, because I know you do train hard in the off season. You got a lot of friends that are pretty good fighters. Take us through that and what you do in summer.
Well, you know, I went to Stockton. I've always been a fan of MMA, but I went to Stockton, and Nick and Nathan Diaz came to a game, and then right after, Nick approached me when we were out one night, and he's like, come into the gym, you'll love it, what we do here. And I went in, and, you know, I absolutely loved it. Every day I didn't have a game the next day. I was in there, and then by the end I was, you know, sparring with Nick Diaz before fights and stuff like that, and he's, to this day, him and Nathan, and one of my best friends. I'd like to, when my career's done, or when time is time, like, you know, I'm one of those people that has a bucket list, and that's definitely one of the things on my bucket list. I want to go to the cage, and I still go down and spar with them and stuff like that. I plan on this summer when a fight's coming up, and they've had a lot of success in their camp. You know, Nathan won the Ultimate Fighter, and Nick's a world champion, Strikeforce, ranked second to third to GSP, and then Jake Shields is fighting GSP. So and Gilbert Melendez is a world title holder too. So like, we have a lot of good guys there, and if you want to get tough, you go train there. That's just how it is, right?
No doubt about that. You have the desire for that. Before I let you go, I got to get this in there, just a plug for yourself. This is your 5th year. You've run a hockey school outside of Edmonton. A lot of the Oilers come and join you, but you are the head of the camp. How's that going?
It's awesome. I have a lot of my buddies that play in the NHL or whatever come down. That's more for the kids. They just love that. Like, that's something for them, the benchmark for them to look at, even though all the guys that are actually, like last year we had Steven Gertzen. He's played in the NHL. He was one of the main instructors. But we have about 200 kids, you know, roughly 150 to 200 a week. We do it two weeks at a time, and it's been going for 5 years, and it's just only gets stronger. And now some kids, it's amazing, some kids that I had when they were 8 or 9 and worked on with one-on-one stuff even away from the camp, they're now like probably going to be drafted in the you know, in the Bantam draft in the Western League, the Western Hockey, the Major Junior, and they're going to get drafted high. They all are doing really well and stuff. So a little bit of credit to the school for sure. You know, as much as I would never take credit away from them because they all work hard, but I love working with kids, and that's what I plan on doing when I'm done. So.
Well, it's a great story, Adam. It's a great story of what you've been doing with your life. Keep it up. It's great to have you with the Wolves.
Yeah, hopefully I get to come back and grace your presence next year.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more of the First Intermission after this.